Hello everybody, today we're going to be looking at the Monster Hunter Beta. It's a multiplayer action with conceived
A
sorrow.
monster that's been giving the Research Commission a lot of headaches has shown up again.
Okay, so
Try to piece together the monster's trail, then let the scout flies show you the way.
this...
Once you've tracked it down, go and put a 3-star hurtin' on it.
But you...
Oh, and one more thing. You're being timed.
Good God. Okay, she's done talking. So today we're going to be doing some, well, two-hunter co-op. I was going to do the expert hunt until I realized I recorded over 4 hours footage yesterday, but I forgot the one time we killed that one thing. Woohoo, yeah. And, yeah, we're going to the fighting Barroth here, or hunting him, rather. So, this should be funny. But yeah, the expert one took us an hour and a half. I presume because of the way scaling works in Monster Hunter. If it works like it did before, I think it either scales with one hunter, meaning you're by yourself, or if you have anybody else, it just kind of scales up to 4 hunters worth of health. So it was really kind of just like, it was grueling is what it was. It was fun, don't get me wrong, but it was grueling because we couldn't really screw up. If we did, he got away, because that thing likes to run a lot. So you'll notice that I'm not good at tracking because, honestly, I didn't really care. I think at this point I was just like, well, I know generally where Barroths like to hang out. They like to hang out near mud. I'm going to go near the muddy areas. At least I did in, 3 Ultimate. So that's where I was going. The way it's supposed to work is you find the footprints like this. You find, maybe drags in the mud, marks like that. And eventually the scout flies will take you to where the monster is. Now, occasionally the scout flies can be wrong. Occasionally they'll, bring you to a great jaguar when you're hunting for, I forget the name of that abomination, but yeah, they're not foolproof, but they are really useful for someone like me. A lot of people don't like them because it makes it too easy. Apparently they never heard of Psycho Serum, because that was the thing in previous games. I told you exactly on the map where they were. Or they just conveniently ignore that. I don't know. Elitist is gonna elite. So, yeah. As far as the actual hunt goes, or maybe you're more interested in my Greatsword take, because I don't want to say I'm a Greatsword. I'm not a veteran. It's my favorite. I'm a Greatsword enthusiast. By the way, that thing, fun as hell to fight. It's chaotic as all hell, but it's fun to fight. I think this is the fight where, well, I'm not going to get into it, but this is a fun fight. Once we actually find Barroth. To be fair, Barroth's not exactly stealthy. He's as big as... Actually, he's probably bigger than a house. Well, I guess it depends on how big your house is, but we're getting off topic now. You might notice me and Conceived Sorrow not staying together whatsoever. We're just kind of looking and splitting up, and I was just kind of playing grab ass with this thing. I just wanted to see, well, is it going to get ticked off? It got ticked off. Yeah. I was just wondering what the hell it was, because I don't think I've ever seen that. Or if I did, or if it was in previous Monster Hunters, it wasn't in the ones I played. At least I don't think it was. I remember the Gobble. Man, that thing was annoying. Or the Legiacris. Good God, that was like Shenlong is what that was. But we're getting off topic now. No, seriously, that thing looked like Shenlong. From Dragon Ball Z. Reindeer horns and all. So, eventually, we'll find it. Because in Monster Hunter, you have to find the thing first. That's kind of in the name of the game. Hunter. You have to hunt it. I was like, where the hell is he at? Oh, well, that don't do me much good. But yeah, I guess I probably should skip forward all this. But to be fair, in the retail game, you're going to have to do exactly this. So I guess you got to learn what not to do. I found it. Actually, I guess he found it. Because he was there first. So, yes. As far as my opinion on Greatswords, I love the way that they did with it. They made it a bit easier if you fudge up. And they gave you even more combos with your charges. And I love it. Now, I don't know how much damage other things do, but the Greatsword, I've seen numbers as high as 480 before. That was when a monster was sleeping, and I hit it in its, I don't want to say weak spot, but it was a fully charged... I think it was a fully charged regular triangle attack. I wanted to say X, but it's triangle in this, my bad. Now, it does seem like in World, things run away a lot. Maybe that's just the beta, maybe they hadn't fine-tuned it, but I don't remember Barroth in Ultimate and 3 Ultimate running away like this quite as much. That was me playing chicken with a freight train. I didn't win. But I tend to get like that when I'm using a Greatsword. I think I'm a juggernaut. I'm not a juggernaut. But it feels like it when you actually hit the thing and it flies away. That's why I love the Greatsword. But yeah, the one thing I don't like is they give you a... I don't want to say it's a crappy Greatsword, because it's not really crappy, but you will bounce off of Barroth a lot. Now, that was, you might say, that was a newbie moment. You got hit by the mud. No, that was a calculated risk. Usually, I don't mind getting hit by the mud. Especially in the beta, because they give me unlimited consumables. Because I can just null-berry it out. But, yeah. I love this game. I can't wait for it. This is another one of those calculated risks. I barely avoided that. And the funny thing is, on my second charge, he moved slightly to the left and I fell in. That's kind of comical when you look at it. But, yeah. Of course, the folly of the Greatsword still on full display. If you don't know how to predict, you're not going to hit much of anything. Or you're going to have to take, little hits like that. Not really what you want to do with a Greatsword. In my opinion, I'm sure you could probably kill stuff by just swinging uncharged, but I've never liked doing that, because it's a Greatsword. That's what you do, charge up. That's the second one, and the third one I didn't even try, because I knew it was not the time. You only really ever get the true charge off when the thing falls down or is trapped. And usually only if you were starting it before it fell down or got trapped. So, but it does an insane amount of damage and almost always manages to flinch them, or whatever you want to call it. Now, what we're fighting on right this moment is a very interesting thing. Below it, I think it's normally where Diablos is. Me and another guy, Glasgow, fought him for, I'd say, close to an hour yesterday, and he kicked my butt. I mean, it's been a while since I fought Diablos, and I never particularly liked the thing in the first place. But, well, as you can see, more poor Greatsword using. If you're looking for pro gameplay, you're on the wrong channel. Alright? I'm trying to get better. That's all I'm doing. Now, this is an opportunity where I thought, okay, maybe if all hell he turned around. But that thing, that final hit, the first one don't hit that hard. The final hit hits really hard. So if you manage to hit with that, more than likely something's going to flinch. That's why I love it. Also, for the uninitiated hunters out there that are getting this for the first time, Monster Hunter, friendly fire is very much a thing. Please try not to use your explosive rounds next to the Greatsword user. It really is annoying. Also, for the Greatsword users, try not to hit your buddies. You'll send them flying too. So, it's not just, against other people. We Greatsword users have been guilty of it too. Now, you might wonder, why don't you just use a trap? I could, but, I mean... it's hard to know when they're gonna run, especially in World. I assume they did this in World so that they could try, like the beta, so they could just like show what happens if a Barroth runs away and runs into that fish thing from earlier, which I think you'll see. Because I don't think normally monsters used to run quite so much as they did in the beta. I don't know if they made that a thing, because you gotta try and play around it now. I'm pretty sure that didn't hit me, but I guess the hitbox says it did. I'm just going to assume that'll be either... that was intended or something, but yeah, that was not bright. I knew it was going to hit the head, but I thought for some reason it's not going to bounce this time. Barroth is notorious for having, well, you bounce if you hit the head, unless you have a blue sharpness weapon. It might be green, but I think it's blue in the old games. I don't know about this one. Obviously, it's not green because I have a green sharpness weapon now. It's not cutting into it. It's just kind of bouncing. For those who don't know, bounces, they used to, I think it does half damage, so it's really not what you want to do. You don't want to bounce. That and the fact that it kind of ties you up. You don't really, like, it puts you into an animation you can't get out of, so that's really bad. But, I think it's 14 different weapon types. And don't worry, this is not going to be the only one. This is not going to be the only footage that we're going to have on this channel. But I know you were looking forward to Dark Souls 3. Well... it's Monster Hunter, man. This is the limited time beta. I'm not going to just give this away. I'm not going to let this opportunity pass me by. Oh. Yeah, Barroth can be ever annoying. I don't remember, well, I guess I do remember Mud coming off. I don't remember Mud being on the floor in 3 Ultimates. I think that's a new thing. It used to be if it landed on you, you were screwed. Otherwise, I think you were fine. But I don't remember, it's been years since I fought him in the Wii U. Or rather, I think that was the DS that I fought him in. But yeah, it's, I don't think that was the thing. Maybe it was, I might be wrong. As you can see, my sharpness up there, not the best. Probably should have paid attention to that. Friendly fire, man. That was not a big friendly fire, trust me. That's not bad. If you get pushed slightly, the worst is when you're in the middle of a level 3 charge and you get knocked back. You just want to scream. Or maybe I just have no patience. It's like, dude, I had the perfect opportunity. What are you doing? That was nothing right there. Oh god, I think this is where the magic happened. By the way, you can totally mount monsters now if you didn't know. It's really nice. The only problem with it is, as it is now, monsters tend to just kind of run away. Again, if you're with a Greatsword user, it kind of really sucks because we rely on positioning, and it's kind of hard to tell when it's gonna move. I will say though, it's really nice because if you get on its head and you're near a wall, you know it's gonna try and bash its head into the wall. So then you jump back onto its back and it rams its head against the wall. It's hilarious. You can also jump onto its tail. And with a Greatsword user, more often than not in my experience, the tail gets lopped off if you've done any amount of damage prior to that. So, the only real negative is your stamina just kind of, well, it just constantly goes down. But yeah, you can do a charge slash from a Greatsword. That's nice. It just feels wonderful. So if you, this is a really stupid idea. I was trying to hit the head. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't think I was thinking. I guess I was thinking, well, it would take too long to go around, so I'll just hit the nearest one, even if it does, like, pitiful damage. Oh, well. Some damage is better than no damage, right? No, I don't think that plays out. Why is my PC going slow? Okay, well, it fixed itself. The stutter stopped. And, yeah, Glasgow joined us after that, so we'll be getting footage of him, and, at the 3 of us, probably tomorrow, actually, because we did all the missions. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the way it works, the scaling is 1 hunter or 4 hunters, because I can tell you from personal experience, fighting with 2 hunters takes a lot longer than fighting with 3 hunters. So I think they carried that scaling over to this one. I have no concrete evidence, but I tell you, it sure feels like it. Also, you can change your direction when you're charging now with the Greatsword. Very minutely, but you can change left or right. This is huge. Before, you could maybe like a millimeter turn one way or the other. This one you can turn like, I would say, a foot in either direction. It don't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. I'm really excited. I'm sorry. I love what they did with the Greatsword. See a big 100, and I think that's 180. I couldn't tell from back here, but it looked like a bit more damage. Again, I don't know how much damage other weapons do, but here you can see the ecosystem coming into effect in just about a moment, because these 2 monsters are gonna get awful frisky with each other, and they don't really like each other. It's a turf war. And it is a thing to behold. They do damage to each other. I remember that, I think it's a Rathalos in the forest level or something that fights the expert level one, and I think I saw 1,500 damage it did to it. So yeah, they do damage to each other. It's not just to look pretty. They hurt each other. And that is amazing, because in previous Monster Hunter games, if you played them, you know, that didn't happen. It was basically a 2-on-1. And even if they did hit each other, I don't think it did damage back then. So that is big news for me. Of course, it can be hazardous fighting 2 at once. But, yeah. I love it. I love the way this whole system works. The only thing I don't like is how often they run. But I guess that's something I'll have to get used to. I mean, they ran a lot in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. So I guess the nostalgic glasses are fogging it up a little bit for me. But they seem to run a lot earlier now than they did. I don't know why. Also, I was trying to mount the thing again. I know that sounds bad. How typical of a man trying to mount something. Well, I was trying to get on top of it so I could get a big old, charge attack into its spine, but yeah, I got greedy. Actually, I don't know if I got greedy or if I just got bamboozled there. I think I got greedy. It was a mistake. I think did we kill that? No, we didn't kill that. I thought we did. It stopped moving there for a second, but yeah. I really like mounting things and jumping on top of them. It's novel, it's new. I'll probably get tired of it sometime, but not yet. Oh, it probably caused no end of grief to, you know, the fella down there, but it was fun for me. To be fair, he did also do that a few times, so I think we're even. But sometimes they don't run, so I mean, it can help. But it just feels so good to get a level 3 charge off and knock something down. It's basically a free level 3 charge unless you get knocked off by friendly fire gunners or another, like some kind of explosion. But yeah, I cannot wait for January, man. I can't wait for it. That's the stuff right there. See, it caused them to flinch. If you can manage to land that bad boy, it feels good. About like any kind of greatsword, I guess. If you manage to land anything, it feels good. I guess I'm just repeating things at this point, but oh man, I love this. The only thing I don't love about the beta, and I will say this, I'm pretty sure it's temporary, is the invite system for friends is abysmal. It is awful. It's like if you ever played on the like multiplayer and like the 3DS, where you have to put in that big code. Yeah, they went that route with it. So if you want to play with your friends, somebody has to make the group, which means you gotta choose a hunt. The other person has to choose the same hunt, I believe. You create a room, go to private. You get a quest ID that's like 12 things long. It's case sensitive, and you have to give it to them, and they have to type it in. So it can be cumbersome, but that's like the only bad thing as far as the UI goes. That and this is a bit awkward, the whole party thing, because you had to hit R3. Why they couldn't just use the D-pad for that, I'll never know, but I guess they didn't. They're like, well, the D-pad up is already used, whatever. So it works, you just gotta get used to it. Bottom line, I can't wait to play more of the beta. I highly recommend if you enjoy Monster Hunter, if you have PlayStation Plus, go up there now. At the time of this video going up, it will be the 11th. You still have a full day more of it to go. So yeah, that's gonna be it, everyone. Hopefully you can see what all the hubbub's about and play it yourself, and hope you have fun, good hunting out there. Farewell, until then.